Go ahead and press record, Ogbert. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Lando, back at it again with another throwback. And we're gonna be hitting that rewind button today. Literally, the real deal. Side A, side B, prep it yourself, playlist on plastic. I'm talking mixtapes.
Now, the making of a good compilation tape is a very subtle art.
If you weren't around during this time, this might sound wild to you, but back then, you had to earn your playlist. Just chilling by the radio, finger on the record button, while waiting for that one track to drop. Or you could whip out the cassette collection, find the tape that you want to add, pop that in, fast forward, rewind, until you find the track that you want to add, and then record that track onto a blank cassette. Or you can just record over an already recordable cassette if you want to save a little Skrilla. So before playlists were digital, they were personal. OGs, remember? These plastic little rectangles held everything. Angsty anthems, post-breakup bops, party jams, and that one tape you made just to zone out, headphones on, while staring at the glow-in-the-dark stars on your ceiling. So cassette tapes dropped in the 60s, but they didn't really start running the game until the 70s. And then once the 80s hit, it was raps. Everyone had a boombox or a Walkman or some kind of deck in their whip.
I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen.
Good call.
These things replaced 8 tracks and outlasted reel-to-reel. They were cheap, they were portable, and you could even record your own stuff on them. And that alone made them the move. But not all cassettes were built the same. You had a lot of popular known brands like Sony, Philips, Fuji, Maxell, and even Scotch. And yeah, I'm talking about that Scotch, a whole different kind of tape. But then you have companies that are probably still to this day known for their cassette production, like TDK and BASF, which many people at that time considered the gold standard. But with these tapes, it wasn't just all about jamming out. It was also about piecing it together. Now, back in the day, one of the ways we would catch tracks was straight off the radio using a boombox. This right here is my Panasonic 2-way 4-speaker system. It came with a CD player, radio, and cassette deck. Pretty much an essential audio apparatus for any 90s to early 2000s teen. And if you happen to be like me and grew up in San Antonio, then you remember 102.7 KTFM ran the Billboard hits back in the day. But KTFM is long gone. But if you liked rock, then you probably listened to 99.5 KISS, which is somehow still around and even more stuck in the 90s than I am. Here's new rock from Alice in Chains. Yeah! You know he ain't gonna die. Alright, now that we paid respect to 90s radio rock, let me show you how we used to actually lock these tracks in. So let's get down to how the mixtape was made. So first things first, we're gonna switch to radio mode on our boombox. And after that, we're gonna find our radio station of choice. The next thing we're gonna do, put in our blank tape. This tape has 90 minutes, 45 minutes for each side. Then you're gonna wait patiently, possibly all night, maybe even forever, for that one song to come on you wanna record. But the second that song hits, be quick with it and hit record. The next step is just to hope the radio DJ doesn't hop in mid-song with some whack-ass ad-libs. And when that's all said and done, you can repeat the process or pop that bad boy out of the tone toaster. And the really dope thing about a boombox like this is you could do the same exact process, but instead of using the radio, you could actually record off your CD player onto tape. Pretty tight, right? All right, now if you're lucky enough to have an actual tape deck like this Technics RS B11W, you definitely had options. On this dual deck setup, tape 2 is the record and playback deck, and tape 1 is for playback only. Some other dual decks might call them deck A and deck B, but the concept is still the same. You had one to play from and one to record to. And right here, I got my assistant to help me out. Go ahead and press record, Ogbert. Never mind, I forgot he's not a fox with two tails, so he ain't exactly the tech savvy type. So first things first, we want to turn this thing on. Then pop the blank tape into tape 2. And then what we want to do is load our source tape into deck 1, or the playback deck. Then hit record on deck 2, then hit play on deck 1. If you just happen to be dubbing a whole tape for a friend or making a copy, you can just hit record, play, walk away, and let it cook. But since today we talking about mixtapes, we're gonna swap in a new source tape and then run it back. Now I know what you're thinking. Yo, Lando, that's tight and all, but what if I want to make an OG mixtape, but with modern music? Don't worry, homie. I got you. You can take an RCA, the auxiliary adapter, and then connect one end to the line in on the tape deck, and then the other end onto your phone. Then you can either make a whole new playlist or find a playlist that fits the time range of the cassette, hit record on the tape deck, wait a second, then hit play on the phone and let it do its thing. New music, old medium, same grind, different timeline. That was the dubbing process. Now let's talk personality. When it came to naming your tape, there weren't any rules. You could keep it simple, mixtape volume 1, slow joints, or even just the name of the genre, followed by mix. I did that more than once, and it definitely got the job done. But if you were making that tape for someone else, you might put a little more thought into it, because that little label carried some serious weight. We got our tape all labeled up, and now we locked in. So shout out to my little assistant, Ogbert, for helping me out today. But an even bigger shout out to all you who dropped in today to peep the video. And as much as I like to look back, I still am pretty present in modern times. So if you want to hear some of the tracks that I dropped on the mixtape that I made today, I'll have links down below in the description with the playlist on both Apple and Spotify. So go ahead, relive them times, and let that tape deck energy live on. If this video brought back one memory or made you wish you were around for it, please drop a comment below and let your boy know about it. I drop new throwbacks every Thursday and go live every Sunday evening doing a little bit of retro gaming. So thanks for looking back with your boy. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out.